Hello and welcome back to Late Age Piconye. It is late summer in year 1, and 2 months ago we sent a herald to negotiate with Man, but they have only sent back a severed head. This is clearly a sign of disrespect towards us, and we've lost 1 point of dominion. We're not going to be able to have a non-aggression pact with them, but that's fine. They're going to be a pretty good war target after Utgard. Yokimitsu successfully empowered himself in blood, so we can send him to Blood Hunt now, and we claimed the Throne of the Stars, which gave us 2 astral plurals, a turn, a little bit of dom spread, and some extra range on our astral spells in that spot. And then we have a battle here in the Endless Caverns. Another interesting thing that we saw last time, where you have a different video than what actually happened, it happened here too. And in this video, you'll see these Bakemono, they get body ethereal. We have a much better concentration of them now, and they're going to run up, and they're just going to get clobbered by these cavemen. They're taking down quite a few of them beforehand, but they do get a rout, and eventually everybody gets knocked off, and there's quite a few of these cavemen remaining. But in the original battle, it was a pitched fight. They killed all of the cavemen except for a crippled one and the leader, which are these two back here. And those two managed to rout the rest of our Bakemono and survive taking the province. But with just 2 men, you'll be able to see, if we go to province, it really is, just 2 or 3 cavemen left. And we'll be able to take that for mostly free now. Yeah, you'll see in the report, all of these died, the rest routed, and they die on retreat because they're an independent. And we only lost 16 of our Bakemono, so it was actually a much cleaner fight than what we just watched. In the next fight, we have a battle in the Ironwood Forest, where we're raiding Utgard with our medium-sized force here. And they've reinforced their PD with a pretty sizable stack. There's about 20 or 30 troops here. It's mostly militia, but they have some giants and some of their really nice herdmen here. And on our side, we still got our body ethereal defenders backed up with some crossbows, as the Piconye armies are tending to do. And we'll see as they get forward, they're just getting picked apart by these crossbows. Our defenders are closing the line. Again, this is a different battle. In this one, we actually lose quite a few of our defenders, but we're still able to win pretty handedly. In the actual battle, you'll see the losses are absolutely minimal. Their archers are going through. They're going to shoot our crossbows a little bit, and they might be able to do just a little bit of damage that way, especially with their crossbows. But we'll see the battle report. This time we only lost 2 defenders and 1 Piconye crossbowman. In that video, some of the defenders even routed, which was just absolutely crazy. And yeah, they did reinforce with 24 troops. We were able to kill 17 of them. It looks like they've mostly just got 3 herdmen and 2 archers that we really need to worry about, a single light infantry, whenever we're continuing forward. And an unexpected event in the Yellow Caves. People have started to worship false pretenders in the secrecy of their home. -2 Dominion. Well, probably, I believe this is the one where you need to patrol out the false pretender. But either way, this is a province that we're going to start patrolling since we're blood hunting anyway. And this is our turn. Let's start off with the underground here. We have our lovely Bakemono and our Piconye Sage Priests here. They're all going to coalesce back into the Endless Caverns. If you fail, try again. I mean, this is an important province. If we can get this, then we can probably get one of these 2 provinces and cut off Tianqi. We're attacking in with a lot of our Bakemono. We're bringing just about 60 of them, and we're bringing an extra Sage Priest to help body ethereal them, but they'll be able to run forward, kill these 3 cavemen that remain, and we have a bit of a cool formation where our Sage Priests are positioned a little further ahead. We have a few of these Bakemono just right here that are all going to get body etherealed, and then by the time they're out of range, we'll be able to have the next group here come and start getting body etherealed as well. And the reason that we're consolidating so much force here for just 3 cavemen is because of Tianqi. You see, they did expand into the Red Mines, and they have about 40 units. With scouting reports, it could be as many as 80. If there are 80 of them, then we're in a bad position, but it could also be a little bit less. There could be about 30. But if they attack here and bump us in the Endless Cavern, which there's only 3 cavemen, so they probably will try to take it. They have mainly archers and ancestral vessels. They don't have dark vision, so we'll be able to kill them. These ancestral vessels do have a magic bow, which will pop our body ethereal on our Bakemono, but they're in skirmish formation, so that's usually pretty good at taking archer fire. And if we close in, we should be able to kill these guys in pretty quick detail. It really depends how many ancestral vessels they have. But that's all that we're doing for the underground. We have our lovely friend here, blood hunting. He's gonna hopefully get us enough slaves to get another blood hunter pretty soon, and we're getting a few more of our bakemono just to run around, patrol, take out more caveman provinces, and we're getting more of these lovely Piconye sage priests. Up on the mainland, we have the war with Utgard continuing to rage on. And with what happened with Man, they didn't accept our non-aggression pact, so they could end up raiding us, fighting us at any moment. We've still got our palisade coming up, and to protect the province and to site search and to build a few things, we have a lovely Prester King that is coming right over here. He has a few bodyguards. Body Ethereal Claim Life should be able to bounce this 40 or so units. We went ahead and pumped up the PD up to 20 because this is an important province anyway. And we'll see why Man is such a warmonger. They're actually embroiled into a war with Ulm here, which luckily we'll be able to move this scout that's right here over to the fort. So if they storm it this turn, we'll be able to see it. And this is really what happened to that massive force of ranged units that we saw just a few turns ago that ran up here. And honestly, I'm kind of hoping that Ulm can beat them back and just have a whole bunch of losses on both sides, and maybe we'll see a really cool fight there. But that's it for the Man front. The TNG, everything of importance is going on down below, and we're just sort of solidifying our borders. And Utgard, the main dish of the turn. We've got this force from Ironwood continuing forward to Ban Kish. There is a temple here, so hopefully we'll be able to raise that to the ground. They might put a little stiffer resistance if they want to protect that temple. But we've just got our body ethereal defenders and a few crossbowmen running forward. And we've got our force here in the royal green that we have patrolling around. You'll see they moved this giant force. We were worried about them maybe taking Perenna, but they moved their force of giants up here to Felicia, which just further proves, if this was a human player, I would think this is some really big brain play. They're moving it, out of our scouting report range of our normal provinces, and with their high map move, their snow move, giants, they're doing some big brain play where they're going to just jump it somewhere where they don't think that there's a lot of troops, maybe kill us all in the capital, something like that. But because this is the computer, this just kind of proves that sometimes it's a roll of the die on what crazy antics they decide to do, like defending this random province that's completely waterlocked and has absolutely zero risk to it. But we're moving all of our forces here to the Royal Green. We've got the reinforcement from Ulfia, so we're going to have a good several hundred, 200 or so units here that can jump up onto Utgard next turn. Ideally, they maybe, are doing a big brain play, and they're going to run everything to the Royal Green and just get decimated. We've also got a few forces from Old Gold just bringing these defenders forward. They're going to help us possibly raid Black Harbor and then take sieging chaff for Utgard. Our Ironwood force is going to continue upward. We have a bunch of our scouts running around. We've got a scout moving here to see that. For recruitment this turn, of course, we have all of our Sage Priests being recruited everywhere. Here in Old Gold, we're getting more of these defenders, and we're starting our first Azure Mage, which will give us a few of the Gift of Water Breathing and the Water Pass that we'll need to expand underwater. And we'll also have over here in Gaeta, we're getting even more of these lovely Bird Knights. We have a few already saved up, and they'll be picked up by our Bird Knight commander that we're recruiting in the capital this turn. We're going to get another Prester King, and we'll have another one getting started. We're getting a few Bird Knights for it to take with him this turn, and we're just slamming these Bakulites as we do almost every turn. We've also got just a little bit of bidding going on for our mercenaries. Both of these going to the Royal Green. Hopefully we can get Madame Fortuna back from Bettyheim. We're bidding 115, and we're bidding 301 for these lovely macemen. They're going to be mostly just a siege chaff. They can tie up a few of the giants and be a front line just while our defenders and Bakulites do other things, but mainly we just kind of need a bunch of people. There's 50 men here that's going to help us siege down these giants. And, we've got our scouts moving around. There's not much else to cover on this turn for our research. We've still got the conjuration coming up, and we'll go ahead and send to the next turn. It is now early fall in year 1, and we have a lot of good news. First, our site searchers found 2 deep crevices and a magma cave. That's going to be 3 earth and a fire gem from all of these sites. That's now a 4 gem province. and then a Skywatch Tower, which is 1 astral, and a Painted Cave, which is also 1 astral. So we just got an extra 6 gems a turn. We're building up astral, building up earth. That's pretty nice. And 8 good blood slaves in the yellow caves. That's very nice. If we go to province, or go to commander, yeah, we're up to 19 unrest, but our Bakemono should be able to start patrolling that out soon. And we have a battle in Quinnan. Man did actually attack us after sending us that severed head, but they walked right into 20 PD. They are coming in with a pretty good force. They've got a squad of these wardens, which are really great. They have high protection, they have high attack, they have high damage, and they have this lovely crossbow. They also have a sacred tag, so Man's Bless will be able to go on it. And then they also have some of these foresters, which is just a solid short bow troop that has 2 attacks with a dagger and an axe in each hand. And then just a bunch of militia. It's mostly just heavy infantry and militia that you'd find on any PD. And on our side, we have a boatload of crossbows, some militia and heavy infantry, just like they're bringing, and our lovely Prester King. This Prester King is just going to be casting Body Ethereal. He has some Defender bodyguards. Blood Vengeance is up if he takes a stray shot, which these Wardens are appearing to focus almost solely on our Defenders and Prester King, which you do not like to see. But it should be a slugfest up here with the front lines. Our heavy infantry actually came and started attacking these foresters. But you'll see it's a pretty even fight, just because these foresters have such a high damage output, but our heavy infantry are able to kill them since they don't have a lot of defense or protection. Once they close with these wardens, though, yeah, look at that. Just one round of attacks, absolutely mulch those guys. It looks like on the other side, though, it's a little bit more even. It's a little bit better of a fight. In fact, we've got a rout on Man's side. They did not attack with very many troops, so we might be able to get a rout here. Our crossbows are still lovely. They're just firing away. They might actually be able to poke through this high protection, and you'll see we've got a rout on these wardens now. With them gone, the battle's almost up, and we're just mopping them up as we chase them away. And let's see what their losses were for that. All of our losses, we lost 16, but it was all province defense, so it's not actually a true loss. We'll just get it back. And they lost 21 troops of the 44 they attacked with, including a commander, a Castilian. 95 gold. Actually, this Castilian here is pretty interesting in the fact that it has a heroic trait. It has a heroic valor, which gives it extra leadership. It also gives it this inspirational tag, so I'm very happy to knock that off the board for them. And we weren't able to take out any of their wardens, which is kind of what you want to be doing if you're killing the raiding squads, but still, being able to kill 21 troops for just PD is pretty nice. And then we have a battle in the Endless Caverns. You'll see TMG actually ran forward and took out these cavemen here. Yeah, it's just the commander, a crippled one, and one of them that didn't retreat in time. But they're attacking with these really great, they've got the barbarian heavy horsemen, they've got a bunch of archers, and then they've got these really special, where are they? Ancestor vessels. They have this howling bow, which is a magic bow. It does 9, half the wielder's strength added, and has range 40, 2 precision, 12 ammunition, but the cool thing is lesser fear. On damage, it deals an extra 2 armor negating lesser fear damage, which will just cause people to rout. And it's very scary for our Bakemono because they have low morale, and especially in these low numbers, getting hit with one of those howling arrows is bad. In the dark, all of these archers here, they just have a composite bow, but they've got pretty bad stats because they don't have dark vision. But these ancestor vessels do have spirit sight, which is very scary. They have no penalties from the darkness. We'll go and fast forward. They should be able to mop this up. Yeah, those arrows ended up just routing everyone. And then we ended up bumping them with our great big force of Bakemono and our brave sage priests as they rout immediately. I don't really know what happened. It's either a bug, but it's most likely a feature of the new non-aggression pack system. So maybe if you bump someone that you have a non-aggression pack with, the attacking force just retreats. But we do end up in these archer shots that are coming forward, we do end up losing one of our lovely sage priests. Let's see, we might be able to catch the arrow that kills him. Yeah, just right there at the finish line. And then for the retreat details, we lost a bunch of our Bakemono, and we lost another sage priest. Rabble, the Piconye sage priest, was killed while retreating into enemy territory. If I knew that was the case, that you would rout, I probably wouldn't have attacked there, but it's no big deal. I mean, we've got sage priests coming out of our nose. We've got more than enough. The big thing is with them taking this province, we can't really hem them in as easily, but it's not a huge deal. I'm happy sharing the underground with TNG until we can eat them later on. And then we have a battle here in Bayan Kish with our forces attacking Utgard. They once again took a bit of a contingent to supplement their PD here. Looks like they recruited some barbarians, and then their PD are these barbarians here, which are a little bit scary. They do 24 damage, which is enough to poke through our protection. They don't have insane attack, so we'll most likely be able to get the tower shield added on, which is still higher than 24, that 17 plus 16. But still, it's enough to chip through sometimes, and you don't really like to see it. Our crossbowmen will be able to completely rout their giants, and these barbarians are very, very susceptible to range fire, so we were able to kill them without any losses. And we took out another 8 of their troops. They lost one of their herdmen. It'd be nice to kill some more of these giants that are running around, but if you see, they've just gone in so many battles with us, and our claim life adds a chest wound. These giants over here have been through the ringer. Let's see, this one has lost an eye, a never healing wound, and a chest wound. These chest wounds give them +5 encumbrance and -1 strength, and they're really shells of their former self. All 3 of them have a chest wound here just because they've had so many fights, or this one's about to gain one in the course of this fight. So they're really just, they're not nearly as good of troops, but I still want to kind of knock them out just while I have these fights with them. Unexpected event in Perenna. A hurricane has struck the land, devastating the coastline. Got some unrest, some minus population. We've got the forest expanding unnaturally. We're losing some income and some people. And our construction of the fortress is done. Yeah, these are from our misfortune events. They're finally catching up to us. But the fortress being done is a very great sign. We'll actually be able to recruit 2 a turn. We're getting an Azure Mage started on this turn, and then we're finishing up another Azure Mage. One of these days, we'll probably just get a Burn Knight commander to even up the commander points. But for now, we're gonna have one. We're gonna have 1.5 being recruited every turn. And Madame Fortuna was also bought, so we have an extra slave to throw into our communions. Speaking of, our force over here in Utgard, we're going to continue up with the Ban Kish force. We're going to just take the Gobstoon Mountains and continue forward. We raised their temple that was here. They also have a Covenant, which means that we can recruit these the sisters who are disease healers. We actually really do need that. Both of these are disease healers, so we'll probably recruit quite a few of these just to move them to the underground and start curing the diseases of sage priests that move around there. But we'll need to free up some sort of a priest over there to construct that for us. But right now we're having our reinforcements move over to the Royal Green while everyone else jumps onto Utgard. Hopefully, they've been jumping this force around. It was in Phaecia a second ago, now it's in Saran Forest. Hopefully they'll just continue jumping it to unimportant provinces, and we'll be able to lock down Utgard. This will take out all of their recruitment, all of their income, since I don't see any of their forts they control. And we should be able to do it. We have 200 troops running forward. We have a lovely grouping here with 5 slaves, actually 6 slaves since we have Madame Fortuna, and 3 masters, along with the Brigade Brevet. It is an honorary title that increases no pay or power, but it's good for morale, and morale will be important in this fight, as this Prester King leads all of our forces. We have a lovely front line, 3 different groups of these Piconye defenders, which will get body etherealed by these 2 communion pockets before they go into a full communion, and a bunch of Baculites going up in the gaps of this front line so that we can start taking out those Gamherdings. And backed up has a whopping 90 crossbowmen, which will just pepper people. It'll have absolutely devastating volleys. We've got a Bird Knight over here to lead quite a few of our troops along with the Pope, and we have, in addition to our 3 Communion Masters, we have 2 additional Claim Life spam casters with our Piconye Prester King and our Piconye Pope. So we'll be able to really ham out a lot of firepower. We've got Claim Life scripted on the Communion, but when they go off script, they're probably going to do Mind Burn, which isn't a bad spell. But Claim Life, I think, is a little better in most instances. Either way, that should be able to take out the PD. Whatever the forces they bring, I know they have a good 200 troops hovering around in these periphery forces, so it could be a big fight if they think we're going to attack Utgard and they actually defend it. And if they PD dump, then it'll be a little bit pitched. We also have a bid for mercenaries over in Aldgold. We're trying to get these green men. It'll give us an extra 50 marrows, which will help us with our Azure Mage coming up. We'll be able to take a few of these defenders that we're recruiting, and maybe take God or the Endless Ocean, and we'll be able to start our expansion underwater. For the Utgard forces, those are the only two provinces we're taking, God's Two Mountains and Utgard. If we hop onto Utgard and sieging is going pretty slow, we'll probably divide our forces and just take all of the surrounding provinces really quickly before hopping back on. But if we're able to siege through, we'll probably just siege through, take Utgard, and then expand from there. Utgard will be mostly dead from that point. We've also got, like I said, we've got our reinforcements coming up in the Royal Green. That'll be a mix of about 50 or 60 troops. It's a mix of the Bakulites, crossbows, and defenders, and it'll also free up one of our Bird Knight commanders, which can go and take some of the troops from the other castles. We also, since Man has started attacking us, we're kind of good to raid them whenever. I kind of want to eat Utgard a little bit before I walk into that. We've got two big forces looking at each other for Ulm and Man, so I think Man's going to be a little bit preoccupied until I start raiding them. But we did bump up the PD here to 30. This was a little bit closer of a fight than I really liked. These wardens are very deadly, and they'll probably just be able to send even more. So we went ahead and went up to 30 PD. We're sending another of our lovely sage priests over here to help body ethereal even more troops, and we're building a temple. We're gonna get a temple lab up here, start getting some sage priests before the fort is online, and we're also getting a temple lab started over here in Bamat. And, every temple here has given us even more of these Bakulites. We're up to 12 right now. Next turn we'll be up to 14 since we're building two temples. So we're getting a bunch of these Bakulites, a bunch of these crossbowmen, another Prester King. And here in Gaieta, we are getting even more of these lovely Bird Knights, and we're finally picking them up with a Bird Knight commander here. He's bringing with him a good 6 units, plus everything here. He's probably going to be marching out with a good 20 to 30 units that we can just fly out somewhere. That'll be a really good raiding force. With the Sage Priest and just a couple Bird Knights, we could pretty much jump anywhere, cast Body Ethereal, and then attack rear and be able to take out most provinces, which is might be what we do for Boggington when we get around to that. Otherwise, down here below, we are actually, we're not able to take in the Scaverin since Tianchi has it now, but we are able to consolidate a lot of our forces over here and take out these other Bakemono. We lost a lot of them in the retreat, but we're still able to levy about 60 to 70 troops here with 2 of our Sage Priests, and we're just going to keep getting more of these Bakemono. With the scripting, it's very similar to what you saw when we routed from Tianchi. We'll just have a bunch of these guys rushing forward, getting body ethereal, and that should be able to take out our rival Bakemono there. For Man, we are looking. We're probably going to start raiding, especially with research. We're just about to finish Blood 3, and then we'll have Blood 4, so we can cast Blood Fecundity. We'll get some construction, and that'll let us start to thug out some of our Bird Knights, and we'll be able to just raid Man quite easily by jumping around with a Bird Knight and just a small kit. Especially if we're getting more of these Bird Knight Bird Knight troops to guard them. And we'll go ahead and see what happens in the next turn.